Hey everyone, how are you? Thank you everyone who's tuning in, who's been tuning in with me. Just wanted to welcome you to another day of OT with Dan. I'm Dan. Welcome to our OT class for today. All right, all we're going to be doing today is just reviewing our past week of exercises and activities. So remember, we're just doing a fun educational class meant for parents and students to follow along with at home so you can learn these different skills and strategies and help implement these skills and strategies at home, especially at a time where we might be stuck inside and don't have a lot of time to move. It's a good way to practice our movement and see what we like and what we don't like, and we can figure out if we can get these into our days, into our routines to help get some of that energy out. Okay, so all we need today is our notebook, if you have your notebook, or you can just follow along for a little review. Okay, so remember, if you are keeping a notebook, the notebook is helpful because we're keeping track of all the activities that we're doing every single day. So we're doing a different letter for each alphabet, a different letter, exercises for each letter of the alphabet, okay? And so as we get through our alphabet, we have different exercises, breathings, strategies, different things that we're doing for each letter. All right, and then by the time we finish our 30 days, we're gonna have the whole alphabet completed, and we're gonna have different exercises and strategies for the whole alphabet. So even if there was ones that you didn't like, or ones that didn't work out so great, at least we were able to try them all and see which ones we do like. And that's a good way just to use these strategies as a resource and have them available to us whenever we want to use them. We can figure out how to get them into the routine. We can figure out when to do them, what to do with our exercises. All right, so our first week we did A, B, C, D, and we did our review for A, B, C, D, okay? Today's review is for our next letters, E, F, G, and H. All right, remember at the start of our class, we practice using our hand, using our finger to draw those letters in the air, right? And we drew the uppercase or the lowercase using both arms, okay? So you can go ahead and draw along in the air when we're doing our letters. And remember, it's also just a good activity for our brain to practice drawing along those letters as we do them. All right, so let's get started. So if you have your notebook, you can follow along with me. So our letter E, okay? So our letter E, we had our elephant, our eel, and we had one more of our empty cups, okay? So for our letter E, we practice drawing that uppercase letter E in the air. We practice that lowercase letter E, and with the other hand, that uppercase letter E, and that lowercase letter e, okay? And on our paper, we can use our pointing finger to trace that letter E, and use the other hand. Okay, and I like to use both hands, both sides of the body, even if we usually use just one side or the other, just to get both hands working together, okay? So for E, we had our elephant, okay? Elephant was our elephant stomps. So when an elephant stomps, an elephant is using all of its weight to stomp. So it's a good way to use those muscles, get that energy out with the elephant stomp, okay? If you can't be so loud, or you might break the floor, you can use a pillow, okay? So I have two pillows. You can use just one, two. So our elephant stomps, we can practice stomping the pillow, okay? When we're stomping, we're really kicking down hard because we want to use those muscles, get that energy out of our legs, okay? Sometimes elephants stomp with two legs, right? So remember, we're not just jumping, we are stomping, okay? If you want to use the pillows, same thing. You can practice jumping on the pillows or just on the pillows jumping, okay? You can jump on one pillow, just on one pillow, or you can jump on two pillows, okay? You can practice jumping on and off the pillow, or you can try jumping over the pillow, okay? But we're jumping heavy, right? Just like an elephant stomps heavy, we stomp heavy too, okay? With our elephant, we also talked about elephant obstacle course, right? So we move our pillows aside and we imagine a letter 8, a number 8 that goes sideways, right? We drew it in the air. It looks like this. We practice drawing with both hands together. It's almost like a roller coaster ride, okay? So we can do the same thing with our bodies walking in that direction. If you want to start just by walking it out first, just to see what it's like, okay? That sideways letter 8, that infinity sign, it's a really good way to cross across the middle of our bodies with our arms, with our legs, gets both sides of our brain working together. Okay, so when we're doing our elephant walk obstacle course, we're stomping, right? Stomping in that infinity walk, or we're stomping with both legs. Okay, remember to be safe, to be careful. Remember, I can't see what anyone is doing, so please make sure you're watching your own safety. You're careful with your own surroundings and how your body feels. Don't do anything that's causing you pain. Okay, everything should be careful, fun, and safe. Okay, safe and careful first, and then fun. All right, just make sure we're looking around, seeing what's around us, being careful, okay? We don't want anyone getting hurt. All right, that is our elephant exercises, our elephant walks. Okay, if we look at our next one, we have our eel. So eel is a dance. Eel is just a nice way to move our body and just shake it out, okay? Just practice getting loose with the arms, moving those hips back and forth, right? We talked about getting our arms up for our eel. If we want, we can jump with our eel or walk. Okay, but the eel is just a dance. It's just a way to get our bodies moving. You could try to go in a circle, ooh, ooh, right? Start to do a circling eel, or maybe the other way. Ooh. Okay, that is our eel. So with the eel, we also practice with our hands, how an eel moves, right? That's a good warm up for the hands. Get the arms working. You can do an eel on your opposite hand. You can have both hands going. See if you can cross the middle. Oops. Okay, so with our eel, we can use it as a warm up. Use both of our arms together, right? See if those eels can go into each other or if they can swim together. You can go nice and wide, really get across your body. Okay, you could just use it as a warm-up. And you can even have it as part of your dance too, right? So if you're eel dancing your body, can you eel dance your hands at the same time? Whoa, it's almost like a lava lamp. Okay, so the eel is just a dance, nice way to move our bodies. And again, we can do a lot with it, turning, jumping, stepping, okay? Next, for E, we didn't write it down, but we also practiced emptying cups. So remember, just pouring out the cups, the stopping and the pouring. Actually, I still have my cups. So just by stopping and pouring, right? We're controlling how we use our hands, how we use our arms, stop and pour, right? Coordinating those movements. We can do a relay race where we have to fill up our cup and or maybe our empty cup is here and we have to practice walking with our heavy cup, or if we have 2 full cups, right? And then just practice emptying them out. When we're emptying them out, we can either hold it with 2 hands and pour, have both of those arms working together, or just one arm holding each cup at a time. Okay, and also just holding those heavy cups is a good way just to get some nice pressure and weight into our arms It's a good input for our upper body joints and muscles. Okay? All right, perfect. That's our letter E. Turn the page. Okay. Next, we have our letter F. All right, so same thing. We practice drawing that F in the air. So with our pointing finger, we made our capital letter F. And we practiced our lowercase. And with our other hand, our letter F and our lowercase. Okay? Same thing on our paper. You can use that finger to trace. And you could do the same thing on the other hand. Our letter F. Okay? We had frog, flamingo, and fan. So our frog jump, we have our legs open and our arms are on the ground. When we jump like a frog, when we jump, our arms come up. We stretch all the way open and we land back down. Okay, so our frog jump looks like this. So sorry, that's me moving. Our frog jump actually can be just right in one spot. And you can ribbit while jumping, ribbit, ribbit, our frog jump, or we can jump in directions like forward, backward, or side to side. Okay, so remember with any of our animal walks, we can always add them together, add them to different exercises, add them to different movements, chain them together as bigger activities. Okay, next we had our flamingo. Okay, flamingo is a way to challenge our balance. So how does a flamingo stand? Our flamingo stands up with one leg. So however you can, if you're just bringing your foot up a little, that's okay. See if you can get it up. If you want to hold on to the wall, maybe practice letting go for a few seconds at a time. See if you can balance. Okay, same thing with the other leg. Just practice getting it up. See if you can get that leg off the ground. If you're holding onto the wall, you can see if you can let go a little. Okay, and eventually you can see if you can get your balance enough that you're able to, hold that foot up. And then you can even challenge yourself by bringing your arms out, maybe both at the same time, moving them from side to side, from up to down, across your body, right? So it looks like this, across your body, same time, doing your flamingo jump, your flamingo flying, right? You can also see if you can jump, flamingo jump. Everything we do on one side, we want to do on the other. And we can even challenge it more by trying to close our eyes. So when we're standing, just standing, see if you can close your eyes, bring that leg up, nice and slow. See if you can get it off the ground. If you can, see if you can bring it up. Can you hold it for a few seconds? Right? If it's too easy, if you want to challenge, see if you can get those arms out. Okay, and remember, same thing for the other side. Nice and easy. And remember, careful. Pay attention to your space. Whoa. See if you can get that leg up. Stand strong in your leg that's on the ground. And if you want to make it harder, you can do some flamingo flying. All right? So with our eyes open, with our eyes closed, just trying different ways to challenge our balance in that flamingo stand. Okay? Last was our fan. We practiced folding our piece of paper. Okay? We folded it, folded it, folded it, folded it, folded it. At the bottom, we folded it and taped it to make our fan. And we just talked about if we need to take a break, sit down in a nice quiet place, maybe use a warm, fuzzy, fluffy, heavy blanket, or however we sit comfortable. And we could just use the fan just to cool off and just take a moment to catch our breath, and maybe do something we like to do, whether it's read a book or listen to some music, you know, whatever we need to do to take a break, and just kind of take a little calm down, you know, relax, chill out period, just to take even just a minute or a few minutes just to kind of cool off, right? And we can use the fan to help us do that, okay? And it feels nice, right? We have our fans, okay? Next, we can turn our page. We get to G, right? So same thing. We practiced drawing our capital uppercase G in the air and our lowercase. And with our other hand, capital and lowercase. Okay, and we practiced using our finger to trace that letter G and the lowercase and with the other hand. Okay, and remember, it's just a good way to get the brain ready to write it when we trace it first, either in the air or just right here with our finger, especially if we have trouble reversing and flipping letters. It's a good way to get our brain to kind of see it before we put it on paper. Okay, so we have gorilla, giraffe, and grounding. Gorilla, giraffe, and grounding. Okay, so our gorilla was 3 different exercises. We started in our gorilla stand, which we can do on our knuckles, if that feels good, or just on our hands. We want our feet flat on the floor. Okay, so we did gorilla squat, which we keep our hands and feet on the ground and we just lift our bottom up. Then we come down, gorilla squat, just looks like this. Okay, just a nice way to stretch when we come up. Squat nice and deep when we come down, gorilla squat. And we also did a gorilla jump, where we get our arms forward and jump, our feet back and jump back. Okay, so just some movement in that squat position. Gorilla jump, gorilla jump. Okay, gorilla jump, gorilla jump. Okay, and the last one was our gorilla walk, where we bring one arm and then that same leg, then another arm and that leg. So just back and forth, just kind of moving around. Remember, if you're on your knuckles, just be safe. If you're on the rug, it might be easier, but if you're on the floor, it might hurt a little. So the gorilla fashion is, you know, on the knuckles, but we want to make sure that we're safe however we're doing it. Okay, so if you want to truly do it the gorilla way, then you can, you know, try for that. But again, be careful what your arms are on. If it's on the rug, then it might be easier. Otherwise, make sure you don't hurt your hands, hurt your fingers. Okay, so I'll do it with my hands flat. Right? So a walk just goes like this, back and forth. Right? Just moving our bodies. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's our gorilla, giraffe, and our last one was grounding. Okay, so grounding, we talked about 2 different exercises for grounding. The first one was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We talked about that whenever it's windy outside or a storm, no matter what moves, the trees, the grass, all different loose things, the ground always stays strong. So when we do grounding, that just means that we get ourselves strong, just like the ground. So no matter what wind comes, nothing will move us, nothing will shake us, nothing will shake us or break us, okay? So our grounding, we did our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, where we talk about 5 things we can see, 4 things we can hear, 3 things we can smell, 2 things we can touch, and 1 thing we can taste. So all we did was just stand, or you can do it sitting. Okay, you can sit in a chair, sit on the floor, and just pay attention. 5 things you can see, so look around. Okay, 4 things that you can hear, so listen. Try to hear 4 different things. 3 things that you can smell. 2 things that you can feel. Maybe it's your fingers or the air, your pants or your shirt, your hands. 1 thing that you can taste. Maybe something you ate before. Maybe if you had water or something to eat, you still taste it. Just paying attention to what the taste is like in your mouth. What do you taste? Okay? And with grounding, just by stopping and paying attention to all of those different senses, we're focusing on ourselves and bringing our mind to think back inside of, to think about ourselves, our awareness. We're becoming aware of what we see and hear and smell, taste and touch. And by becoming aware of it, right, we're thinking about it, focusing on it. It helps us to get strong like the ground by bringing our mind back into to focus on how we feel, what we're seeing and hearing and smelling, touching and tasting. Okay, so instead of our mind thinking about everything else, our mind comes back in and focuses on us. And that helps us to ground. Okay, and for grounding, we also talked about ABCs, which is similar, but we look around the room, we try to find something for A, something for B. Okay, it could be hearing or smelling or tasting or touching, a food, something that you can grab, just filling the alphabet. Okay, but same concept of just taking time to pause and just focus on ourselves, what we see or hear, how we feel, looking from our perspective, coming back, to our perspective. And that helps us to get grounded in ourselves. Okay, our last one is H, right? So same thing for the letter H. We made our capital letter H and our lowercase, and with the other hand, and our lowercase. Okay, and we can practice on our paper, tracing with our finger and our other finger. Okay, so we had 5 for H. We had horse, hammer, hop, hug, hum. Okay, so our horse, how does a horse move, walk? It gallops. So the horse gallop is lifting 1 leg at a time. Okay, we can switch it up by lifting the other leg. Okay, so just jumping in place, or you can jump high and see if you can go faster. And the other leg, right? You can practice going forward, or with the other leg, or back. See if you can switch those legs to one side, to the other side. Right? I'm switching my legs. Which one is going first? Which one is going next? But at home, you can do whatever you want to do, whether it's just 1 leg the whole time or 1 leg for each way. Okay? And just moving in different directions. You can practice moving in a circle. Again, either switching up the legs. It's a good way to try to trick the brain by changing which leg is jumping. Okay? Even just going back and forth. You're just switching up the directions, and you can add different things. You can combine the animal walks together or different exercises, chain them to make a certain obstacle course or activity, whatever works best for you. Okay? And we did our hammer hands. So I don't have my hammer, but we practiced rolling our fan. Rolling a piece of paper. I'm going to use the fan. We practiced rolling a piece of paper just so it's rounded, and something like this. So we can use it like a hammer. And we just practiced if we have to hammer across our body. So from one hand, going across the body, 2, so nice overhead, 3, nice power, but then we stop, 4, 5, same thing with the other side, okay? We talked about doing it with 2 hands. So we get both of those hands working, and the other side, okay? We talked about that we can make it harder by hammering to the floor. Just be careful with your knee. See if you could go down without touching your knee to the floor. Hammer down and to the other side. Okay, same thing if you're going with 2 arms. And the other way. Okay, or you can switch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or down to the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's our hammers, hammer hands, how we hammer. Okay, a good way to just get our arms moving to both sides of the body, get a lot of explosive strength from the core, and then force ourselves to stop before we actually go all the way. So that control as well. So how we use our muscles, how we use our movement. Okay, then we have hop, hug, and hum. Okay, so hop is, remember, jumping looks like this. Hopping is just 1 hop at a time. Hop, hop. Okay, so also we have to practice not just moving in a jump is a little easy because, not that it's easy, but our body gets used to just the up and down motion. It's a repeating motion, a repetitive motion. The hop, we have to stop, jump, and stop, okay? So it's a little harder. We can also practice hopping forward, hopping backwards, to one side or the other, okay? Or you can hop in a circle. But remember, we're not jumping, we're hopping. Okay, next we had our hug. Hug means asking somebody for a hug, whether it's a parent or a family member or a close friend. Remember asking first, of course, and just getting a nice, deep, deep hug. Okay, sometimes can just help us to feel calm, squeezes out that energy. Okay, we talked about giving ourselves a hug, giving ourselves a nice deep hug, maybe squeezing our arms, squeezing down. Anytime we're squeezing our arms, we want to squeeze out of our body, not in, but out and away. So squeeze down our arms. Okay, not too hard, we don't want to hurt ourselves, but just a little squeeze, massage. We can do our hands, fingers, right? And just working, squeezing it out of our body. Okay. We can also do a hug sandwich, pillow sandwich, right? Where we have 2 pillows, one in front of us, we can hug a pillow. Or have 2 pillows, one in front, one behind. And just see if we can get a big hug from a family member or a parent or a sibling or a close friend, of course, asking first. And we just get sandwiched in our pillows and get a deep hug like that. Okay, and the last one we talked about was humming. So like our fan that we took a little break, our humming, we can go and take a little break, either sit in a nice comfy place, sit on the couch, sit somewhere with a nice fuzzy blanket or heavy blanket, and just practice making some sound. So what's a sound that we want to make? Or a song that we know. Right? So just making that sound, right? Making that sound with our throat. See if we can make it into a tune or a melody. And just sitting and making that sound, we start to focus on it, right? We become aware of it, we're thinking about it, and it helps us to just get our minds back in and just experience how we feel, focus on something from our own point of view, not thinking about anything else. It helps just to bring us back in to our own center, to our own mind, and get us focused and centered, and kind of helps us to ground again in ourselves, right? Our humming. All right. Beautiful. All right, everybody. Thank you. That is our week 2 summary. Right? Turn our page. Okay. So, hope it's been informative. Hope everybody's enjoying so far. We have a few more weeks to go till we finish up our alphabet, finish up our resource booklet. So again, please reach out to me if anyone has any questions. My email is dantheotman1@gmail.com. I have a Facebook group, which is Friends of Dan the OT Man. Working on making some other social media accounts. You can subscribe to this channel and you'll get notified of any new videos when they're uploaded. You'll get notified immediately. I have some special guest activities and different activities, challenges, educational information coming out also that I'm working on. So just trying to get some more information out for everybody, get some fun activities, different talents and arts and skills and different things that maybe we haven't done activities with before. So hoping everyone will enjoy, hoping it will be nice. Okay, and just a reminder that these are fun educational activities. They're not meant to replace any existing services you might have, just meant for parents and students or providers or anyone just to follow along, practice and learn these different skills and strategies to implement them on your own. Okay, please make sure you're safe and careful since I can't see anyone. Please make sure you are watching yourself, watching your bodies, right? Everything is at your own risk, so please consult with your doctor, healthcare provider, primary care physician before starting our classes if you need to. Otherwise, hope everyone is safe, staying healthy, moving around, okay, having fun with me. And otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing everyone again for our next class. All right, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.